Let me tell you something wild today. Because sometimes the biggest financial wins don't come from billionaires or tech geniuses. Sometimes they come from someone who just refused to quit. And this story, yeah, it's one of those. So sit with me for a moment. And if you're into stories about real people making it big in ways nobody expected, make sure you hit like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. This story starts in Delhi, India, but the reason it blew up is because it became a global reference point in entrepreneurship programs across the US, especially in business schools. And you'll understand why in a moment. So, there's this guy, Ritesh Agarwal. Most Americans hear that name and think, who? But in the global business world, his story is one of the craziest, started from nothing, cases ever documented. Ritesh was born in a middle-class family. Not poor, not rich, just normal. His parents ran a small local shop. But he wasn't the type to follow the ordinary path. From around 13 years old, he was already obsessed with computers and business ideas. At 17, instead of choosing the usual college path, he did something bold. He dropped out, moved to a cheap room with barely any money, and tried to become a tech entrepreneur. The thing is, none of his early ideas worked. And when I say none, I mean none. It was flop after flop after flop. But here's the twist, and this is what US audiences absolutely love about his story: he was learning from every failure. One day, while he was struggling to find affordable hotels to stay in during business trips, he noticed something weird. Millions of people in India wanted cheap, clean, reliable rooms. The hotels existed, but the quality was completely inconsistent. One room would be great, the next one would be terrible, and nobody was keeping standards. So he had this crazy idea. What if I standardize budget hotels? What if I take small hotels, fix their quality, add branding, and turn them into one big chain? This led to Oyo Rooms, a standardized budget hotel network. Now pause for a second. This wasn't some billionaire idea. This was a teenager looking around and saying, hotel standards are terrible, let me fix that. He started small. One hotel. One experiment. One brand sticker on the door. But the impact was huge. Guests loved it. Hotel owners loved it even more because revenue went up. And Oyo began spreading like wildfire. Now here's the part that stunned the US business world. At 19 years old, Ritesh applied for the Thiel Fellowship, a program created by Peter Thiel, the American billionaire co-founder of PayPal. The fellowship gives young people $100,000 to skip college and build something legendary. Out of thousands of applicants worldwide, Ritesh was chosen. And he became the first Indian to ever win the Thiel Fellowship. This moment changed everything. Silicon Valley investors started paying attention. International media started running stories. And suddenly, Oyo wasn't just a local project, it was becoming a global model. The company scaled faster than almost any hotel brand in history. Within a few years, Oyo expanded into China, Southeast Asia, the UAE, the UK, Europe, and eventually the US itself, where budget hotels saw the same problem: inconsistent quality, outdated rooms, and no brand standardization. By his early 20s, Ritesh had built one of the largest hotel networks in the world. The growth was so explosive that major US investors, including SoftBank's Vision Fund, poured billions into expansion. By 24, Ritesh Agarwal became one of the youngest self-made billionaires on the planet. This wasn't lottery luck. This wasn't inheritance. This wasn't a golden family connection. This was a kid who saw a broken industry and fixed it. But here's what US audiences relate to most about his journey: he never tried to be perfect. He didn't pretend he knew everything. He made mistakes publicly, admitted them publicly, and corrected them publicly. And he moved fast, something American entrepreneurship culture absolutely values. Today, OYO has thousands of hotels worldwide and tens of thousands of employees. It's not just an Indian company anymore, it's a global hospitality giant. And business schools in the US study Ritesh's method as a prime example of how to scale a business rapidly, how to standardize a messy industry, how to solve a real-world problem with simple execution, and how age doesn't matter when your idea is strong. This story is real, documented, and used as a case study in multiple US universities. But the lesson? The lesson is universal. You don't need to be rich. You don't need a fancy degree. You don't need approval from society. You need one thing: a problem worth solving. And if you're listening to this thinking, man, maybe I've had an idea like that before, then trust me, don't sleep on it. Take a step. Test it. Try something small. See what happens. That's the kind of mindset that turns ordinary people into global success stories. And if you enjoy these real money stories about people who built something incredible from scratch, hit that like button and subscribe, because I've got another one coming that might just spark your next big idea.